Hey Jeff, I see you're on here too. I'm going to add you in just a second. I was just going to tell everyone a little bit about you. So Jeff is based out of the Atlanta area and he is a portrait, commercial, and food photographer. I want to show you some of his work that I really love. Well, I love all of his work, but his portrait work just really draws me in so much. And some of these look like some commercial photos. So anyway, I think his work is just amazing, and we are really lucky to have the chance to get to talk to him today. So I'm going to add him in. Let's see. All right.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I don't have a selfie stick, so.
Oh, well, that's okay. Usually I don't. I'm usually like this.
Yeah, it's taped up onto the monitor here, so hopefully
That's
it'll stay
awesome.
on.
That's awesome. Well, hey, welcome. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for letting us talk to you today. We're so excited to have you.
I've never done this before, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, it's just totally cash. We are just happy to have you because you're an amazing photographer and you've had amazing success. So I always like to start by asking the people that we interview about their non-photography stuff. Like what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Where are you from? And you're in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And is that where you're from?
No, I grew up in South Florida.
South
and then
Florida?
went to school in upstate New York.
I think I can hear a little bit of New York accent in there. Is that what I hear?
I don't think, I'm just tired. Maybe that's it.
Oh, I think I
Um,
have a little bit of a Midwestern accent because I grew up in Kansas. That's what people tell me. But what I wish I had is like a English accent. I'm always wishing I had that.
yes. Or Australia.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So actually, Jeff and I did talk on the phone briefly the other day, and that's kind of unusual. I usually don't talk to people before I actually talk to them. But so we have some similarities in our family life because you have a blended family also. Is that right?
Yes. We have 3 kids.
That's awesome. All right. Power to the blended families.
Yes.
That's not an easy task to do. But anyway, that's awesome. So you grew up in South Florida, went to school in upstate New York. What
Yep.
did you study? What were your
I was a history major and then political science and Chinese major.
Chinese?
Yeah. So,
Oh my gosh. I think it's so fascinating to hear like the different types of things people study before they end up in photography. So Chinese, how did you end up in Chinese?
it was kind of on a bet, and then a late night bet, and then we wound
Oh
up
my gosh.
marrying in it. Yeah. So we studied in China for a little while, and
Wait, you went to China for a while?
yeah, we were there for about 10 weeks
Oh,
in
wow.
college, and then thought I wanted to go to law school and work for a lawyer for a year, and that really cured me very quickly. So
My ex-husband's a lawyer, so yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we went to had like a quarter life crisis and applied at SCAD and got into the graduate program there. So
Okay, for those watching who don't know
there
what
goes my phone.
SCAD is, could you tell us what SCAD is?
Savannah College of Art and Design.
Oh, okay.
So,
And also for me, because I forgot what that meant, but now that you say that, I'm remembering. So you got to go to school in Savannah?
no, I went. They opened their school in Atlanta. So
Oh,
they have.
okay.
Sorry, my phone is
It's okay. It's all
I'm gonna
about
be
keeping
crooked.
it real. It's just all about
Yes.
keeping it real. Like if we wanted like some polished performance, it would be totally different.
This is
But
not it.
I think people love seeing like everyone's real life and seeing us how we are. So actually, that's kind of a lie though, because I only curled my hair because I was doing the interview. So it's not really real life. But
And your pajamas from here down, right?
actually,
Yes.
I
Matter of
do
fact.
have on my slippers. So yes, kind of. Yeah. But that's awesome. So you had a quarter life crisis and went to SCAD. And what did you study at SCAD?
I started in the fine art program and then switched to commercial photography.
Oh wow.
I did not understand the fine art stuff at all. So switched about halfway through, and then now it's going the other way.
Oh, it's
I'm just gonna
okay.
leave it.
It's okay. No worries. No worries.
And then started shooting. Started shooting kids for a school project, and then we opened, I had a 2-car garage, so we started shooting in there.
Nice.
And then about 7 years ago, we moved to our studio here, and have been here ever since.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a big leap of faith, but so far so good.
So do you run it all by yourself, or how many people are in your studio?
We share, it's a big space, and we share it with another photographer who's been here about 15 years or so.
Oh, okay.
And then we both rent from the same landlord, but we still share the space. So it's kind of an odd setup, but it works pretty well for everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm happy to show it to you.
Yeah, we'd love to see it. Yeah.
You want to see it now?
Sure, why not? Unless your camera's like all finally sticking.
It's taped up. Yeah. Why don't we we can do it after.
Okay, well, now that it's staying, we'll do it after. Awesome. So what part of Atlanta, I know Atlanta's a big area, so what part of Atlanta are you?
The area is called Ponte Highlands. It's near the Carter Center off Freedom Parkway.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
That's
so it's
awesome.
A pretty cool area, young families, and kind of Atlanta's nice because it's like a big city, but still has a suburb feel. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been to the Atlanta airport many times, but I've only actually been to Atlanta once for a Sting concert, like out of the airport. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, so you went to SCAD, and then and you started working out of your garage, and then now how long have you been in your current studio space?
Almost 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
I think we're going into our 7th year.
That's awesome. So what percentage of your work would you say is portraits versus commercial versus food?
I don't know. We do a lot of portraits, a lot of kid portraits. But we do some seasonal work that's lends itself to a lot of volume photography for portrait. But we do a lot with I've been with the Symphony for about 10 years, and the opera, and so I like doing those. They're very predictable.
I'm going to pull those up so I can show people some of your Symphony work. And then it looks like you did work with the opera. How did you get in with the Symphony?
When I was at SCAD, they emailed and asked if anyone was interested in shooting a concert, and I thought it was super cool, and everyone else thought it was super nerdy. So we just kind of started shooting. I had no idea what I was doing, and then we've been with them ever since.
So when you're shooting this type of event, what type of equipment are you bringing with you?
I've got the Mark IV, and then usually 7200 for the telephoto shots, and then for portraits, 50, 24-70, just kind of depends on what they're looking for. But my go-to lens is a 24-7. Excuse me.
70 to 200.
7200, yes.
So do you shoot Canon when you're shooting with the 70? I mean, the 70 to 200.
Yes, everything's Canon.
The Canon.
Yep.
I love the 70 to 200. I have a Tamron that's really old, and I really, really want the Canon one.
The Canon one's really nice. It's super sharp. So.
Yeah, the L glass is just so reliable, I feel like, because I have a 20-40-70 that's like a lot more. It just doesn't wear out like my other lenses. The L glass is just awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming when you're at the Symphony, you're not using flash.
No, you never really realized how loud a click is until we started shooting there. So for years, we tried different things, trying to muffle the sound. We between towels and stuff we bought in B&H, and none of it really worked. So once Canon came out with the quieter cameras, it's not mirrorless, but the silent shooting. That helps a lot, but it's still pretty loud. So we try to wait till the music gets a little bit louder.
Okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
okay, did you have the Mark, just a personal curiosity question, did you have the Mark III before you had the Mark IV?
Yeah, I think I had the Mark II and then Mark III, and both of those are really loud compared to the Mark IV.
Oh, really? That's what I was just going to ask. Because I have the Mark III, so it's a lot quieter shutter for the Mark IV.
I think so. I just know the focusing is much easier on the Mark IV than the Mark III.
That's awesome. That's what I've heard. I mean, yeah, that sounds awesome.
I shoot a lot of the Mark IV has a live view face recognition, so when we're shooting like a conductor, it'll follow his face while he's conducting, so you can shoot it live, which makes it a little bit easier to focus.
That's awesome. So what, like, if you're not shooting with a flash, obviously for distraction, how high of an ISO do you go up to feel like how high do you shoot and feel comfortable?
Typically 6400, depending on most of the performances. They look bright in the photos, but they're typically not. So I'll just bump the ISO up until I can freeze whoever I need to freeze. That's the nice thing when you're kind of forced to not shoot with flash. You just use the available light, and that's all you got. So you just have to push your camera to, if you have to push your ISO up, you have to push your ISO up. Otherwise, you don't get anything, or they come out blurry. So, and a lot of times they're using them for social media and websites, so they're not blowing these up super huge.
They're not on billboards? Come on, why not?
A couple.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That must be fun to like drive by a billboard and be like, hey, that's my work.
Yeah, swerve off to the side of the road sometimes and see, oh, that looks familiar. So that's pretty cool.
So cool. So what shutter speed do you shoot at when you're shooting in that environment?
Usually I'm laying down, so my camera's resting on something, and I can usually get away with 100th to usually 250th. 100th to 250th. The 100th is kind of cool because it'll give motion to the conductor's arm.
Oh yeah.
While you're shooting and still freeze him. And then if we want to freeze it completely, something like a 400th or higher, obviously, yeah. So it just kind of depends on the day.
And then you get to go to a free concert. Well, I mean, not free. You're working. You know, you enjoy it. You're on the ground, so you're on your stomach on the ground.
Yeah, we're usually up in. They've got some rafters, and I think that's what it's called. And some side areas and catwalks and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool being backstage. And
oh, really? You get to go up on the catwalks?
Yeah, and there's some holes in the stage as well. So it wasn't really. It was never really designed for photography. That was like never thought. So finding like new spots to shoot from is fun.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So are you wearing all black then when you're shooting these?
Typically, usually the audience can't see you from where you're at.
Okay.
So it's usually not a big issue, but sometimes if we're in a rush from another project, if we're backstage, we're backstage. It doesn't really matter what you're wearing. So
yeah, that's so cool.
That's kind of nice.
Like when you say catwalk, do you mean like the ones that are like above the stage?
Yeah, but these ones are they have a ceiling underneath them, so they're not quite as scary.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say that would be a little scary.
Yeah, but a lot of them, I don't think people have been up there for a very, very long time. So there's lots of dust. And
you're like brushing the cobwebs away. You're like, oh, that's funny. So I've been to a symphony, but it's been a while. How long are they? And do you stay the whole time? And how many times do you move throughout the time? How does that work?
It depends on the performance. Sometimes they have like a guest conductor and they only need the first 30 minutes. Sometimes they need it for the whole 2 hours.
Okay.
Most of them last with intermission somewhere around 2 hours. So sometimes they need everything, and sometimes they just need a few things that we just kind of pop in and pop out. But I'll spend maybe 15 minutes in one spot and then move to like a catwalk in another area and then backstage. And, it really just kind of depends on if there's someone playing a violin. Sometimes where I think is going to be a good spot, they don't turn in that direction while they're playing. Then I have to run to another area, because a lot of times those performances are, those are pretty quick, 20-minute performances. So,
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool. And then once you're done shooting that event, like how many images do you have? And then how do you cull them down, and how many do you deliver, and how do you edit them? I know that's like 5 questions in one.
Yeah. The night of, they like to have the photos immediately. Some of the favorite
Oh,
ones for publication, just for newspaper and stuff like that, and reviews and whatnot, and social media. And then the rest, I'll go through maybe a couple months later. They're usually not in a rush for those because they're for the archives.
okay.
Um,
Wait,
and,
how many did you say? How many favorites? Did you say 4?
oh, I might just send them 4 or 5 for the next day.
Okay.
And then eventually, depending on the performance, we might shoot 1,000.
Yeah.
Um,
Now
and
you say we, so are you shooting with somebody else?
no, me and my camera.
Okay.
That's we.
I love it. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. That's great. So, and then how do you edit? What's your editing method? Do you use Lightroom or
Yeah,
Photoshop?
it's
How do
Lightroom.
you?
Lightroom, and we're those are pretty much quick batch processing. There's not a
Okay.
ton to do to those, so yeah. Other minor exposure adjustments, things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and then you use Instaproofs. Do you use Instaproofs to deliver that to the Symphony?
No, we use Instaproofs for our family photography.
Oh, okay, cool.
We do a big Easter. We're
Okay,
currently
let's
doing
talk about that. I'm going to show
Sure.
you, I'm going to pull up his, do you want to talk about Easter first or?
Sure, whatever you like.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up these Christmas ones first. Okay, so these are not your typical, Santa pictures. So how did this come to be, and how do you market this to your clients? And tell me about this.
We started maybe 6 or 7 years ago. No, 6 years ago. This is our 7th year. And we had maybe 20 kids for the whole day. And I didn't know if we could fit them all in one day. But, I was still fairly new to kids. And most of them cried the entire day. So I thought it was an epic failure. And so I said, I'm never doing this again. And people wound up they wound up buying the crying pictures. So, we went with it again the next year. And we shoot happy kids too, but that age bracket is just, they're terrified of Santa. So that was 6 years ago. And then
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
And then
so it was like basically like something you thought was an epic fail turned out to be like an entire new genre of photos.
Yeah, I thought people would hate it, and I thought we'd get a lot of backlash. And we didn't really promote it until maybe 2 years ago, and that's where it really went kind of viral. And we shoot a ton of families now. So we went
how many?
We shot about 20 kids the first year, and then I expect this year to shoot probably maybe 6,500.
What? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So,
okay. So tell me about how you market it, how you run that, because that is major volume. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a lot. The days are pretty, they're jam-packed, but most of the kids who come in are crying, so they don't like to spend much time on Santa's lap. So they're super quick sessions, and we advertise them as super quick. But the kids that cry usually offset the time for the older kids, 5 or 6 that want to talk to Santa. So they have plenty of time to do that. And then we use Instaproofs we batch upload all the photos from the day. And we don't filter through them anymore like we used to. We put everything up. So good, bad, flash going off, flash not going off. And we rename all of our file names by last name. So we might have 130 families. We have about 130, 135 families per day and shoot about 20,000 photos a day.
But how do you rename them and make sure you have the right last name with the right
So
kid?
we actually take a pic. We have someone write down a last name, hold up a card, take the picture, and then on import or after import into Lightroom, we'll have somebody rename all the files like a
So who's
batch.
somebody? So you must have some.
She's back there.
Oh, hey.
Oh, where's she at? There she is.
Hey, who are you? Somebody, tell us who you are.
She is at SCAD now, also doing her master's.
Oh, wonderful.
So we met up a couple years ago. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So she
Yeah,
helps you run your studio.
Yeah, so she renames them, and then we'll do a batch process filter, and then make sure everything looks pretty decent. And then we'll put them on Instaproofs. And the reason I love Instaproofs is that they allow clients to search by last name for the file name, whereas a lot of the sites we went to, none of them had that feature. And if we didn't have that feature, people would have to scroll through 20,000 photos to find their photos, and no one wants to do that.
Nobody. Although it is kind of entertaining to see the funny pictures.
Yeah, but it gets, it can be. And then everything's automated after that. They can purchase the photo, and then they'll get email confirmation with, they can purchase the photo. We send unique coupon codes to each family. So depending on what package they purchase, if it's 3 photos or 10 photos or all photos, they'll get a unique coupon code. They can go to the checkout at Instaproofs, put the code in, and then they'll receive an email after they place an order and have an instant download to their photos.
So are you doing any printing or just files?
No. Yeah, just files. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
just files.
Cool. So I didn't ask you beforehand, but do you mind sharing your pricing and your pricing strategy?
Yeah, I think they're up on my site. We do like a tier system. So I think last year was the first year we tiered everything. Before that, we did a flat fee, and then this year we did a tier package. So I think the first package is $165, somewhere around there, and that includes the photography. But the photography is, the kids don't come for the photography. We set up the whole studio as kind of like a winter wonderland, and we've got model trains going, and we have a big snow pit they can play in, and we've got a cocoa bar. And we've got Santa's workshop and arts and crafts.
It's a whole experience. It's
and so it's become like a family tradition for a lot of families. So they look forward to, and we have free beer and mimosas for the parents, which helps quite a bit.
That is the secret
for success. Yes,
that is the secret. Right there, you got it.
Yeah, so most people spend about an hour and a half here. The photography is
cool.
The sessions are only 2 minutes each at most.
Yeah.
So they're super quick. But
so how many staff does that take to run? I mean, that is a lot of people.
Yeah, I have a digital assistant who downloads the photos and renames them and uploads them to Instaproofs.
So are you doing tethered capture, or what are you doing?
No, we're putting everything on cards. And then because, with the tethering, a lot of times the cord comes out and all that kind of stuff. Too many technical things that can go wrong. And I'm moving around a lot too. So it's real super easy for the cord to come out.
So how do you manage expectations for the parents? Are they like, can I see that? How do you keep things moving? Because obviously if you're shooting that many people, it's like you have to keep it moving.
Yeah. I think people know that they're quick sessions, and
how do they know? So you tell them?
We advertise them as quick sessions, and I think a lot of people like that because they're kind of in and out of the experience.
And then there's no pressure on the parents to like have their kids happy.
Exactly, and 2 minutes is a long time to sit on Santa's lap. I know it seems like short to us, but for kids, they especially when they're screaming,
they're like,
who
are you?
Yeah. So
what percentage of the kids who come are screaming?
Probably 75%.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a stressful day.
Especially I need some earplugs, please.
Yeah. Especially for the first time parents. A lot of times sometimes we have parents that come in and the kids don't cry and they leave disappointed because the kids weren't crying. So
that's hilarious.
We can't make them cry. Yeah.
That is so hilarious. Okay, we have a question from Jay Kelgram. How much post-production are you doing before uploading to Instaproofs? So I think you said
like for
minimum.
Yeah, for Santa we'll do a a filter on everything. And then I'll go through all the photos and make sure that, if the flash didn't go off, I'll try to make the photo a little bit brighter. Sometimes it doesn't go to full power.
Right.
When we're shooting quickly. So I'll adjust some, and then we'll also, if something's super crooked, we'll switch it. We also, when we send out the email to let people know when they go to Instaproofs, if your photo's too bright or too dark, just let us know. We'll adjust it for you after the fact. It's just going, and people expect the photos very quickly so they can get their Christmas cards out. So we're not able to go through every single photo and make it absolutely perfect before it goes out.
So what time of year are you doing this, and how many days are you talking about?
We do November 1st-ish until mid-December. So last year we did 25. Yeah. Last year we did 25 days from 9 to 5 every day.
How are you even still sane after that?
We go on a vacation after, so.
You're like, I can make it. Where's your vacation spot of choice? Are you like a weather person, or?
I'm not really a vacation person. So after about 2 days of vacation, I'm good. But my wife likes the beach and traveling and stuff like that. So
there you go for her. That's awesome.
Yeah. She does a lot of the email correspondence and customer service and things like that.
Cool. So she helps also with the business. That's awesome.
Yes.
I've tried to do like, not mass as in what you're doing, but I've tried to do sports photos, and I just can't deal with that many people. Yeah,
there's a big learning curve, and every year we learn how to do something better each year, whether it comes to post-production or just customer service, or this year in particular, there was such an interest. We sell it very quickly when we post them, and a lot of the returning. Yeah, we start January 1st each year, and sold out 10 days in a couple hours, and then posted.
Wait. Oh, wow. Wait, on January 1st, you opened your Christmas shoots?
Yes.
And you sold 10 days in a couple hours? Yeah. Holy cow. So how are you advertising that? Like, how is this happening? Is it Facebook, Instagram, email?
We don't spend a ton of money marketing. It's all, Facebook and Instagram, and then word of mouth. And we're kind of at the point where a lot of new families are coming in, and they were grabbing spots before the returning families could come in. So, and unfortunately, our scheduling site won't allow us to prioritize. So what we did this year.
What scheduling site do you use, before I forget?
It's called Acuity Scheduling, but it's more for doctors' offices and that kind of thing. So,
okay.
But we use them because they allow us to put our sessions so close together. A lot of them.
Acuity?
Acuity, yeah. I think it's ACCUITY.
Okay. Because that in and of itself would be like a massive undertaking to get that many people.
That's all automated on that end. So they go to the site. We've got our 3 packages. They click on a package, and then they pick the date and time. And then they can do the payment there. So this year we got to the point where, we wanted returning families to come back, obviously, and they were getting frustrated because when they're putting in their credit card information, somebody else was stealing it before they got to it. And so kind of a race. So we manually went through and tried to get it. Well, we got all the returning families back in that we could, that responded. And then we're going to open up the rest of the days soon for a new family.
So you were already sold out for all of December and January, for all your Christmas already, and it's not even spring.
We probably have about 15 days right now that we were able to put up and sold out. Yeah.
Wow. And it's not even, it's still winter basically.
Yeah.
Well, actually probably in Atlanta, it's more springy, right?
It always, it feels a little bit, it does feel like spring. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
So crazy.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
So cool.
Yeah.
So you started with the Santa. Were you already doing Easter ones also, or
No, the
happen?
Easter, I'm kind of
Either.
slowly getting into my mall photography groove over the years.
What
But
do you mean
Easter,
mall photography?
oh, Santa and Easter Bunny
Oh,
and
okay,
that kind of
okay.
thing. Um,
Wait, where
Easter,
where are your Easter ones on your website? Or are they? I'll just pull up your Instagram and show.
yeah, there's a few on there.
Oh, the one I posted on Instaproofs, that one's hilarious. That girl is like terrified of that bunny.
Yeah, and most of the kids are happy to see the Easter Bunny, but now and then we'll get a good crier, and they don't translate quite as well as the crying Santa ones, but so most of them are happy. But we don't have them on the website. We eventually have to put them up there.
There's some more just on your Instagram feed. I'll
Yeah.
just scroll through. So how soon do you do the Easter one? So are you all done with Easter already, or are you still having some?
No, we've got we started. I guess we've done about 6 days, and we got another 10 to go. So we've been doing it for a couple weeks now, and do kind of a similar. It's not as big as Santa in terms of our setup, but we've got a cookie bar, and we give all the kids Easter baskets, and there's
Oh, you do? That's fun.
extra bunnies everywhere. And what else do we have? I can show you. It's all
Yeah,
set up.
show us. Okay, let's get a tour. I'd
Okay.
love to see it.
Let's see. Ooh. I think I can flip the camera around to you. 1 second. Okay. So let me go over here. I'll just kind of show you the area. This is kind of our sitting area. So when people come in, they can kind of put their stuff down and get the babies all situated before.
Is that a wall of books?
Yeah. I really like old books, so we made a wall of them.
So cool. How did you do that? That's so cool.
We just kind of stacked them and then made there's a few rows of shelves, hidden shelves that we put some fake spines on them, some book spines. So yeah.
That is amazing. So you obviously don't take those out, right?
No. Those stay there.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's cool.
so cool. Do you use that as a backdrop ever? Because that is rad.
Not yet. It's fairly new. And then
I love it.
I'm gonna bring you to the front here. So this is Scott's space over here.
Okay, cool.
And then we set up this little Easter picket fence, and
Oh, cute. So who helps you with that? Are you the designer, or who
I
does
kind of do everything. I'll get help now and then, but I like doing the construction stuff. And
Oh, fun.
and then here's some Easter baskets we got to refill, so we give those out to the kids.
So you give them, so they don't take home the baskets?
Yeah, they get to take them home. Each kid gets their own
Oh.
basket. So it's got little plush animals and
That's so
bunny
brilliant,
ears.
because then the parents are like, we got that done, check.
Yeah, check it off the list. And then this is kind of can't go really wide on this, but
Yeah.
we've got these nice window light
Ooh,
for
that
regular
is
portraits.
pretty. That's great. What a great space. It's like nice and big.
Yeah, and then here's the platform we built. The first week I did it on the floor, and my back was killing me, so we just built like a little stage for them so they can climb up on the stairs over here. And then I use a little scooter.
Wait. I go back to it. I want to see it again.
Oh, it's just a little mechanics scooter chair.
Oh. And I can't wait. What do you like? Where would you get something like that?
I found it on Amazon. It's just I think it's for mechanics. I don't know.
Oh, for mechanics. Okay.
Yes.
Wait, what's the brand?
Uh,
Tunex. Oh yeah,
yeah.
it looks like it's probably for mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I use that for Christmas as well. So I can
So you're
slide
kind
back
of
and
just
forth.
sliding around on the stool while you're
Yes.
photographing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah. So we have one camera on a camera stand, so we could shoot just like a wide shot for all the kids with Santa.
Okay.
And then I've got a camera on myself that I kind of roll around with,
Okay.
so we get different angles and up close and far away and all that kind of stuff.
What,
so that's usually
what,
that's
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay. The camera I usually the lens I usually use is a 24 for the
Okay.
wide shots. Excuse me, for the close-ups and the ones that I'm on that little mechanic stool. And then the one that's on the camera stand is usually like 35 millimeters.
Okay.
So I'm actually shooting 2 cameras. And while the kids are talking to Santa, I'll shoot the wide one. And the other one I'll have close up, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's cool.
So, yeah.
How fun. And wait, I want to see those bookshelves too.
Yeah.
Wait, go in closer. Please. I'm like, that's so cool. So you've got books and cameras.
Yeah, I like antiques, so.
Oh, that's so cool.
We use them for props now and then. Yeah.
That is awesome. I think you definitely should like use that book wall as a backdrop. That is awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe an author would be cool. I'll go back over there.
Yeah, or even like senior pictures, or I mean, like there's so many people who like books.
Yeah.
You know?
I hate reading, but I love old books, so.
You hate reading.
I hate reading. But...
That's funny. Well, that's perfect that you can't take them down then. Well, or you could like even take pictures of it and sell it as like a stock photography.
Yeah.
Because that's so cool.
I think Kim Kardashian had a wall just like it, so I think she stole it from me, but I don't know.
Okay.
She probably had it first, but.
That's hilarious. I love it. Hey, you know, if Kim Kardashian likes it, it's gonna trend.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's awesome. Yeah, everyone's saying like, oh my gosh, the book wall's amazing. This is so cool. So this is getting great response. Okay, so I know you're already sitting down again, but can you talk a little bit about your lighting setup?
Yeah, for Santa.
Like how you have it up right now, like what lighting you have and how you have it set up for these portraits. Like are you doing a 2-light setup or 1-light setup?
For Easter, I'm just using this big, this is by Ellen Chrome.
Okay.
And I've got an adapter I've got the Einsteins from Policy Buff. And then I'm usually just using that big light there and a reflector, which is not present over here. I had to take that down for something else, but just a big kind of a metallic reflector over here.
Okay.
That's kind of let me go find it for you. I hope this isn't making you dizzy.
No, it's so interesting. I love seeing people's space. It's so fun.
Let's see.
It's super fun.
So it's this kind of shiny metal, but it's not flat. So it kind of puts back like a softer reflection, but not like a white foam core. Yeah. And
That's
then,
so cool.
So after we shoot, the kids come over here and we've got birdhouses for them to paint and stickers.
Fun.
And then we've got the cookie bar over here that's why the kids really come.
For the cookies.
Yes.
That's making me hungry. I want some cookies. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. So what age would you say is your typical client, like the kids in for a shoot like Easter or Christmas?
For Easter, I would say it's anywhere from, we've had a few newborns, which can be difficult because the sessions are pretty quick.
Yeah.
But most of them, I would say 3 to 6 is kind of the sweet spot for kids really like enjoying the bunny and the activities. But we get kids from, newborn till, I've had a couple 17-year-olds, not by their choice, but usually they have siblings that are younger.
So that's actually what I was just going to ask. So what happens when there's families, and do you photograph the children together, or how does that work?
Yeah. For Easter and Santa, I'll shoot them separate and then together as well. So they've got.
And does it cost more for those families? Like, how do you price that?
Nope, we just do a flat fee for siblings, because we don't want to. Obviously, when you have more siblings, it gets more expensive for people, and we don't want to penalize them. So
it's the same price for one kid as it is for.
Yep.
And they still get all the stuff?
Yep. Yeah. So, when they have one child, we can spend a little more time with that child.
Okay.
But I don't like to nickel and dime over certain things. I just want people to come in and have a good time.
That's awesome. That's so great. I bet you are tired by the end of the day.
Yeah, the Easter's not too bad. I mean, we're definitely tired by the end of the day, but the Santa's really, as I get older, it's definitely getting more difficult to keep the stamina up. And
yeah.
But
So okay, wait. How many? You said 6,400 kids for Santa?
probably this year. Yeah, maybe somewhere around there.
So crazy. And then how many for Easter would you say?
We did. I think we did 17 days this year, and we do about 26 to 30 sessions a day.
Wow,
So,
that is a
yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay, so what are your plans for the future now that you have this business model that's gone viral and you're really championing, I can't say that word, championing.
something like yeah.
You know what I mean. Anyway, this whole other, you're embracing basically how the kids actually are. So what are your plans for the future? Or goals? Or
I don't know. It's just things kind of snowball, people come up with recommendations for other kind of kid projects, but I really like doing the commercial stuff. It's a little more predictable.
Yeah.
So I like kind of expanding on that. But
and by
I don't know.
You mean like, tell us what you mean by that.
More product kind of editorial, things like that for businesses.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about your food photography. Hang on. We got to talk about that because you have some amazing work. You really have to check out, if you're watching, you really need to go check out Jeff's website because he has got expertise in so many different areas.
It's
so
a work in progress for sure.
Well, hey, I think that's how we all are, right? I mean, it's so wonderful to be able to learn from people who are still learning because then they remember what it's like to learn. Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about this work.
I don't do a ton, honestly, don't do a ton of food work compared to the kids, but we do a lot with Chick-fil-A with their social media. So that's what I really like doing. They bring in talent.
Do you work directly with them or do you work with an ad
Yes.
agency?
No, it's directly with them.
Oh, okay.
So this week, and we'll do it in all different places. Sometimes we do it at the studio. Sometimes we do it on a location somewhere. And then this week we're going to their corporate office. They just opened a photo studio there.
Where are they out of Atlanta?
Yes, they're based out of Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is big time to do Chick-fil-A.
Well, they're super, super nice, great company, and the people are super nice to work with.
I actually have some, like when I went to school, I was in graphic design and advertising, and I interned at the Richards Group in Dallas, which is, I don't know if they still have the Chick-fil-A account, but they had the Chick-fil-A account at the time. And they had, I think they had it since the beginning. Do you happen to know if the Richards Group is still their ad agency?
I have no idea. No.
Anyway, so this was years and years ago, but I got to go on a shoot where they were shooting Chick-fil-A stuff. So it was super,
yeah, it's really cool. The people are just super nice.
Yes, I'm a huge Chick-fil-A fan, just for the way they run their company, and yeah, it was awesome.
And then we're doing, we do some volunteering as well. During Santa, we have, we call it Santa Salutes, and we do a free, it's free for military families and veterans.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They get the whole experience and they can download all their photos. And
oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. So we really look forward to doing that. And then this year we're doing, they're called crazy hair minis, where the kids shake their head super crazy and their hair's going everywhere. And the flash will freeze the motion. So you get really cool shots.
That's so cool.
And we're doing that with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully that'll go well as well. So it's nice to it feels good to give back, and
That's really awesome.
yeah.
Okay, I have to go back to Chick-fil-A for just a minute. How did you
Yes.
end up getting connected with Chick-fil-A? How did that happen?
Let's see. I shot a gal's wedding, and she wound up going from one company and then ended up with Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
So yeah, um, I did weddings for years, and then stopped doing it once things got too hectic on the weekends and whatnot. And then so she went from one company and then wound up at Chick-fil-A. And then we always kept in touch. And he said, would you be interested in doing food photography? I said, yeah, I'd love to. Let's try and see what happens. And, their company's been going through changes with social media, like all companies. So they kind of transition, I think they're transitioning, their point of sale stuff is much different than their Instagram, social media kind of photography. That's a lot more loose, so we can get away with a lot
things. Funner, because food photography, I've done that before, and it's like commercially, I was hitting, working with a food stylist, and I was hitting my shutter like once, maybe twice an hour.
Right.
I mean, it's like the opposite of like Santa and Easter Bunny.
Yeah. This one's got a lot more action because we'll maybe shoot, for example, at a restaurant and bring out talent and a food stylist, and just, we might only have talent. Yeah, so
that's so fun.
Yeah, so a lot of some of it's more point and shoot. A lot of it's on tripod, but or a camera stand. But a lot of it's like, hey, let's just shoot it and see what we get, and we throw out a lot, but keep the winners. So.
That's awesome.
A lot more relaxed, yeah.
That is so cool. Well, thank you. I was like, we haven't been talking that long, but I just looked at my clock and I'm like, we've been talking for almost 50 minutes. So I don't want to take up any more of your day, but I would love if you have any other tips to share with us before we sign off, or anything else you want to share that we haven't already covered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert at all on this stuff. I'm making it up as I go along.
You're so humble, but that's I feel like that's like how we all are, but we all feel like we need to be an expert in order to share. But I feel like there's so much value in sharing the journey, and it's so enlightening, I feel like, for everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't know yet, so it's nice to have something to always try something new.
Yeah.
But I always look at other people's work and think, oh my gosh,
who's inspiring you? That's another question I wanted to ask. Yeah, who are you inspired by, whether it's their photography or their business model, or whether it's not even in photography? Who are your inspirations?
I don't know. It's
no, or you can think about that one. Okay.
Yeah, I'll think about that one. Yeah.
Instaproofs.
Instaproofs. I love their business model. That's it.
That's awesome. Why? No. Now, how did you find out about Instaproofs, really?
I think I did a Google search, and they were one of the top hits. And again, the reason we really liked going with them was that search engine capability on their site. And then we liked their pricing structure for sure. And the support, every time you call up, they know it seems like they know your name. I'm guessing they have caller ID, but even if they don't know who you are, it sounds like oh, hey Jeff, how are you? How's, so
yeah.
And you usually get the same.
I'm with your volume. They obviously, okay. So not they, but Instaproofs knows who you are, obviously. Because that's awesome. Yeah, I'm an Instaproofs user as well. I just do this as a freelance stuff, and I also can second what you just said, that because I have trouble with stuff too. Like I'm like, I don't understand how to do this, and I'll call them up, and they'll be like, oh yeah, just do this. I'll walk you through it. And they don't seem annoyed or anything. They are just super helpful. So I agree.
Yeah, it's super nice, especially. And I'm sure it's frustrating for them because a lot of the things are so obvious that you just miss them. And they're like,
They're
it's the
not
button
obvious
right
to
there. Yeah.
me. I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah, but I know what you mean because I'm always like, I should know how to do this, but yes, my experience, so nice to have that customer support. And also because they are, you know, the programmers, some of the sites out there, they're run by, you know, they
Bigger.
license the stuff from other companies, but they are the programmers. So if you need something or you have an idea, they can do it for you.
Right. Yeah, they'll tweak something now and then if you need something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, this is a random question. And if you don't have an answer right off the top, that's fine. But what are your favorite TV show? I just think it's fun hearing what people watch or what movies they like or, that kind of stuff. Do you have any favorite TV shows lately or movies or something like that?
I'm really into the gold shows and the treasure hunting shows and
Cool.
so history. I was a history major, so I
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
History
your
Channel.
history. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I'm trying to learn chick flicks for my wife, but it's not going so well. So
my husband doesn't like the chick flicks so much either. I watch a lot of war movies with him though.
Oh yeah, I watch him. She reads a book, but
that's awesome.
Yeah,
so cool.
But
awesome.
I mean, it's nice being able to do. I don't have a ton of hobbies, and photography was always a hobby of mine. So it's kind of this weird. Or I feel extremely fortunate to be able to do this for a living. And every day I walk in and think I'm so lucky that I can do this. And that things
amazing.
are working out. So, yeah. So just take it day by day, but
that's awesome.
kind of count your blessings as they go.
That is so great. What a great way to end it. And thank you so, so much for being here. And I'm so inspired by what you've done. And I think just the fact that you took something that you thought was a total fail and it became this viral success, that's awesome. That's so awesome. And
thank you. Well, yeah, there's always room for improvement, but I guess that's how it always is with everyone. So
yeah, well, I feel like if someone were to get on and be like, I don't need to improve anything and I know everything, you'd be like, bye-bye. You wouldn't want to talk to that person because, I mean, really, there's always stuff to learn. But anyway, well, thanks for trying this out. Was this okay? Like the live Instagramming or?
Yeah, it was good. I don't like being in videos, so that's probably why I'm being kind of quiet and it's hard looking at myself while I talk. So, but if people are welcome to reach out if they have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer emails. But again, I'm no expert. I'm just kind of making up as I go along. So
that's awesome. Well, I might take you up on that because if I ever do more of the sports shoots, it's just all the technicalities of it kind of have scared me away. But if I venture back that direction, I will be calling you.
Yeah,
you might be sorry.
The photography is like 5%, I think, of the whole business thing. So you shoot a lot less than a lot of it's just the back end kind of stuff, and that's the harder. And that's why having like someone like Instaproofs for those big shoots, the bigger projects, is super helpful. So
super helpful, and thank you so much. And have a fabulous rest of the day. And it's so great to meet you.
You too.
Bye, Jeff. See ya.